Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your Reiki Daily Micro Session. This is 5 minutes of Reiki, so it's just a super tiny sample taste type of thing. And normally a Reiki session is much longer. At least a Reiki session with me is normally an hour long. And so let's see, after we do our Reiki micro session, then we're going to do 5 minutes of questions where you can ask me what my favorite color is, or what my first pet was, or how psychic things work, or how Reiki works, or if you have something that you would like me to read for you with the tarot cards, I'll be happy to do that. But I'm just going to answer one question per person for 5 minutes till my timer goes off after we finish the Reiki. So we're going to start with the Reiki, though, and the Reiki I'm going to set for the intention of whatever will benefit each of you the most as an individual. If you have something more specific that you would like the Reiki to focus on for yourself, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention. I just ask that you keep that intention something that the Reiki is helping you with, not somebody else. Those of you who are watching this after, this is no longer a live broadcast. Just know that you can still get just as much benefit from the energy because Reiki is energy and Reiki is not limited by time or by space. So that's why you can get just as much benefit from it later as you can now. And that's also why you can get just as much benefit from it if you are right here in front of me as you can wherever you are in the world. So I think that's everything I need to cover with you guys. Let's go ahead and get this Reiki started, shall we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting Reiki at 31 after the hour. That means we're going to be wrapping it up at 36 after the hour. Good morning, universe, love, royalty in the house. Shakoya Wilkins, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you back, my dear. You're using yours for inner peace and love. I like that. I like that. Shakoya, what are you using yours for? Thank you for the thumbs ups. Everybody who's already done that, I appreciate that. Thank you also to those of you sharing this video with others. Everything you guys do to get me out in front of other people, I do appreciate. Highest and best for you. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, yeah. We must have lots of people these days looking for their sense of direction. I think this is the third day in the row that I've felt feet. Energy going into feet has to do with sense of direction. That can be anything from what do I want to do with myself right now to what do I want to do with myself for the day or for the week, or what do I want to do with myself for my life? Clarity, clarity inside and out. What does that mean? You're trying to understand yourself and you're also trying to understand situations outside of yourself as well. La da 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 la da 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 la da da da. Gotcha, gotcha. La, da, 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 da. We've got a lot of heart chakra energy starting to flow out. We've also got some throat chakra energy. Heart chakra has to do with healing from old traumas. And what did I say? Throat. Yeah, throat's coming on strong now too. And the throat has to do with telling our truest truth. So for those of you who have not heard me talk about truest truth before, somebody else introduced me to this concept and it just blew my mind. But basically, we all kind of go around letting people think the things about us that we think they can deal with in a good way, that they can accept about us without too much resistance. And so we may be kind of careful not to mention this little thing or that little thing around certain people. And it's not always the same thing around different people. But we don't ever really take the mask fully off in a lot of cases. And so, truest truth has to do with the idea of just actually being yourself and actually saying what you think without censoring that for the sake of somebody else's opinion. We're not trying to worry about what somebody else thinks of us. What we're trying to do is just express ourselves authentically. So when we have throat chakra, we can expect to start expressing ourselves in a more authentic, genuine way with integrity rather than the watered down version of ourselves that we think the person standing in front of us can accept. So that's what's going on with throat chakra, finding some balance there. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. We've also got some third eye chakra and some crown chakra. Third eye chakra has to do with bringing balance into the intuitive part of ourselves, and crown chakra has to do with the idea of bringing balance into that part of ourselves that communicates with the divine and that relationship with the divine. We've got a lot of stuff happening today. Lots and lots. One more minute left. La, da, 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 da. All right, let's wrap up the Reiki. And I'm going to set my timer. And you guys, what would you all like to know today? La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. I'm sure you all have questions. Curious people with brains working well have questions. The time delay here is such a drag. La da 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 da. Universe love. What's the most important thing you should be doing with your time? Oh, we're not going to ask a heavy question to start with, are we? Let's take a peek. What's the most important thing that universe love should be? I'm going to change your question because I feel the nudge to do so. I hope you don't mind. What is the most important thing that universe love should be focusing on with her time right now? La da da da, da 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 da. What are you guys saying here? Okay, so universe love, the best thing that you can be focusing on is finding some healing for a situation where you and somebody else have, shall we say, drifted apart. You've gone your separate ways. And you know that it made sense for you to go your separate ways, but at the same time, you're still struggling with that situation emotionally. So, what you want to focus on, the most important thing that you could be focused on right now is finding some healing for yourself around that whole situation and yeah, around that whole situation. Okay. Hope that makes sense for you. Timer hasn't gone off yet. Who else has a question? 2 other people in the room. La da da da. Oh, Shakoya, you liked that question. What is it that would be the most important thing for Miss Shakoya to focus on? You're quite welcome, quite welcome. And you guys remember, if you guys can't catch me online and you want one question answered, all you have to do is go to my website and order a 1-question reading. I also have 2-question readings and, of course, live readings and Reiki sessions. Yeah, and I teach Reiki. I think that's everything. Oh, well, I clear houses and I do Reiki and I do psychic parties. Now I think I've told you everything I do. What should Sequoia be focused on? What would be the best thing for Sequoia to be focused on right now? Ooh, baby. You've got some good stuff happening, but it's heavy. So, Sequoia, right now you're going through some major changes. Generally, these start off as changes in perspective, which change how we interact with the whole world around us. And Spirit is acknowledging that it's been challenging you a little bit to have these changes in perspective and to make the changes around you. But you want to focus on not so much the challenges, you want to focus on doing what it takes to get stronger, doing what it takes to stabilize in those new perspectives, doing what it takes so that you are walking the talk, baby. Instead of walking the old talk, walking the new talk. That's what you should be. That's the most important thing you could focus on right now. Woot woot. One more person in the room. Do they have a question? I guess we'll see. You're quite welcome. Now I want to ask that question for me. If nobody else asks the question, I'm answering that question for me right now. La, da, da, da. That was a good question, Universe Love. I thought it was going to say something like this. First card out. The seer. That's what I do. Yep. And then we have the Great Bear in reverse, which talks about continuing on with something that has already been begun. And the Sun in reverse, which just talks about sharing my energy with other people out there. That's what I should focus on. I love it. I love it. That was so cool. That was a great question, Universe. Thank you for bringing that to us today. All right, so that was the timer, though, so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. I appreciate the thumbs ups and the shares. And of course, I appreciate all the private readings and the Reiki sessions. I appreciate all of you just for being you and being loyal and supportive of me so much. Everybody have a fantastic day. If I don't see you here for a private, then I will see you back here on the next video. Peace out.